Someone is reading your kindness like a map. They already know every road. You thought you were building trust. They were building leverage. Every favor you gave became a debt they never planned to repay. Every time you went quiet when you should have spoken, they noted it, filed it away. They don't think you're soft because they hate you. They think you're soft because you taught them to. And the most brutal part is not what they did. It is that you already knew. You have known this for a long time. You told yourself it was patience. You told yourself you were choosing the high road. You are not here by accident. Something in you finally refused to look away. This is not a motivational video. This is a 500-year-old warning, finally delivered. And it is aimed directly at you. You were not wrong to be kind. You were wrong to be kind without armor. You were raised to believe that goodness accumulates like interest, that the world eventually pays out. For years it seemed true. People called you reliable, loyal, good, safe. Those words were not compliments. They were a category, and categories are cages. Every system around you runs on hierarchy. Workplaces, social circles, families. Hierarchy, not warmth. In a hierarchy, the person who gives without demanding respect is not celebrated. They are utilized. You became load-bearing for people who never once asked what it cost you. That is not loyalty on their part. That is exploitation with better branding. And here is the deeper wound. You knew. You felt the calculation behind the smile. You kept going anyway, because the alternative felt like becoming someone you did not want to be. You told yourself that staying open was strength. Machiavelli called that something precise. He called it self-flattery. The most dangerous lies are the ones that arrive dressed as reasons. Your situation is different. Your plan just needs one more adjustment. Every single wasted year comes with a justification that felt completely reasonable at the time. The real problem is not that people took from you. The real problem is that you gave them permission. And permission can be revoked. You are not here to become hard. You are here to become precise. 500 years ago, a man wrote a book that every powerful person has read and almost no one will publicly admit to owning. His name was Niccolò Machiavelli. He did not write for the comfortable. He did not write for the cautious. He wrote for the person who had finally decided to see the world as it actually is, not as they were promised it would be. But here is what they never teach you. The man who wrote the definitive book on power spent 14 years completely powerless. He was tortured, exiled, stripped of everything he had built. He wrote to a friend, "I am rotting away." He missed the city, the risk, the stakes. He was irrelevant, and he felt every inch of that rot. He did not write The Prince from a Throne. He wrote it broken, desperate, and hungry for one more chance to matter. That is the part of his story that matters most. His philosophy was not written in comfort. It was forged in the exact rot you may be sitting in right now. What are you doing with your exile? What are you building in the dark that will matter in the light? And from that darkness, from that exile, that rot, that broken, desperate second chance, he left us this. Lesson 1. Kindness without boundaries is not a virtue. It is exposure. You gave, genuinely, without wanting anything back. Then you watched that giving become a tool used against you. This is the mechanism. When you give without conditions, your goodwill signals it has no price. And what has no price has no value. People don't consciously decide to exploit the kind. They simply respond to the signal they are given. You control the signal. Machiavelli didn't say stop being generous. He said know precisely who you are giving to, and make sure they feel the full weight of receiving it. This knowledge is for protection, not destruction. Give deliberately to those who have shown you, not promised you, that they deserve what you carry. That choice, made with open eyes, is not coldness. It is the beginning of real power. Lesson 2. You are not waiting for your moment. You are watching it leave. Machiavelli was precise about this. Fortune governs half our actions. The other half belongs entirely to you. Most people spend that half in preparation. You know this moment. An opening appeared. You needed one more week. One more preparation. Then the window closed. Fortune does not announce herself. She opens a window and leaves. The person who was still getting ready watches from the floor. There is another edge to this. Skill without proximity to opportunity is just a private talent. Nobody discovers you in your bedroom. Machiavelli understood this with rare precision. Ability and opportunity are each worthless alone. You need both, and only one of them requires you to move. Stop building in isolation. Put yourself in the room where the window might open before you feel ready. Readiness is a feeling that arrives after motion, not before it. Readiness is not a state you reach. It is a state you perform until your body stops knowing the difference. Lesson 3. You have been optimizing how your life looks, not what your life actually is. The job title that sounds impressive but feels hollow. The project you announced before you started. The version of yourself you describe at dinner. Machiavelli mapped this centuries ago. Men judge more by the eyes than by the hands. Everyone can see. Almost no one can feel. You have been serving the audience that can only see. The psychology is clinical. External validation arrives faster than internal development. Your brain rewards the appearance of progress more immediately than the reality of it. The gap between the performance and the reality grows quietly. And that gap is exactly where years disappear. One private, unannounced, unposted action per day. Not the story of the thing, the actual thing itself. That is where real change lies. When you stop performing progress and start building it, something changes that other people sense before they can explain what shifted in you. That is real power. It cannot be performed into existence. It cannot be taken away. Lesson 4. You saw the warning sign. You decided it wasn't urgent enough yet. That calculation will cost you everything. Machiavelli described this like a wasting disease. Easy to treat at the beginning when it's almost impossible to see. By the time it becomes easy to see, the treatment no longer works. Replace the disease with your career, your relationship, your finances, your self-respect. Which one has the hairline crack right now? You knew a year ago, 2 years ago. You did not act because it did not hurt enough yet. That is the trap. Pain is not the signal. The signal came before the pain. This is how humans are built. We respond to pain, not to the early, nearly painless signal that pain is approaching. Your nervous system is not optimized for prevention. So the small problem becomes medium. The medium problem becomes the crisis. And by then the cure has stopped working and the window Machiavelli warned you about is closed. Identify the one thing in your life right now that needs attention but hasn't forced your hand yet. Address it today, not because it's urgent, because it will be. Urgency arrives after the cure stops working. Machiavelli said it 500 years ago. You are out of excuses for not hearing it. Lesson 5. You are running a strategy built for a version of the world that no longer exists. Machiavelli was exact about this. The person who adjusts their actions to match the actual moment will thrive. The one whose actions belong to a different moment will be broken by the gap. You can feel this. The approach that used to open doors. The tone that used to disarm people. The version of yourself that used to work and now generates only friction. The psychology is predictable. Under pressure, humans default to the familiar. The more threatened you feel, the more rigidly you repeat what once felt safe. Machiavelli had zero patience for this. He saw nostalgia for what it is, one of the subtler forms of self-destruction. Ask yourself one question honestly. If I were starting completely fresh today, with no attachment to what I've already built, what would I do differently? Sit with that answer. That answer is not a comfort zone. It is a direction. The only thing it needs from you is the courage to move toward it. The moment you stop protecting what worked and start responding to what is, that is when the game stops being played against you. Lesson 6. You have left before. New job, new city, new relationship, new plan, and you arrived and found yourself already there. Machiavelli observed it with ice-cold precision. People change circumstances to escape changing themselves, and they do it while the skies are still clear, overlooking the storm that travels with them. The new place felt different for 3 months. Then the pattern surfaced. The same friction, the same ceiling, the same moment where you stopped. Machiavelli called this one of the most predictable patterns in all of human nature. And predictable is the most dangerous word in power. Here is the mechanism. New environments produce a neurological reset, new stimulation, new hope. It feels like progress. Your brain treats it as progress. It is not. The scenery changes. The person doesn't. Not until the person decides to. Before your next exit, before your next fresh start, ask what you are carrying with you. Because it will arrive before your luggage. It always does. Machiavelli was not telling you to stay. He was telling you to be honest. Honest about what you carry. Because only what you can name, you can set down. Lesson 7. The most socially acceptable way to stay exactly where you are is to call yourself cautious. Machiavelli wrote it directly. Fortune yields more readily to the bold than to those who approach her coldly. She allows herself to be mastered by the adventurous, not by the considered. You know someone like this. Speaks carefully, hedges every position, has a detailed reason for every year they did not move. Calls it wisdom. The word cautious has been rebranded as wisdom. Machiavelli saw through that branding 500 years ago when it was still new. Caution is just fear that learned to dress well. There is a real and important difference. Strategic patience waits for new information that changes the calculation. Fear waits for permission that will never arrive. The test is precise. If what you are being cautious about requires no new information, only more time passing, you are not being strategic. You are being afraid. Those are different things. Name the thing you have called caution for more than 6 months. Then ask once, is that patience? Or is it the most elaborate avoidance you have ever constructed? Now move. Every lesson Machiavelli left points to the same singular truth. The world does not wait for you. It never was going to. And it owes you nothing for the years you spent preparing to deserve it. Nobody is coming to stop you from wasting another year. No villain. No conspiracy. No invisible force. Just the daily, completely voluntary, invisible choice to not begin. That is the cruelest truth Machiavelli left us. The old you is dead. The one who waited for permission. The one who called retreat patience. The one who performed progress and called it building. That version ended the moment you decided to see clearly. You are a weapon, pointed at your own future. And the only person who has ever controlled that aim, the only person who has ever decided where it goes, is you. You belong to no one. Not to their expectations. Not to their category. Not to the comfortable story they built around who you are. You never did. You simply forgot for a while. Machiavelli did not write The Prince for crowds. He wrote it for the one person in the room who had already decided to stop lying to themselves. That is the only qualification this channel has ever had. If this is the kind of place where you are willing to see clearly, that is not something you walk away from lightly. You make that decision yourself. No one makes it for you. Staying is a choice. One that says, I am done looking away. I will come back. I will go further. That choice belongs only to you. Not everyone has the stomach for this level of honesty. Most won't make it this far. But if you are still here, you already know which kind of person you are. One question. Leave it in the comments. Think about it for more than a day before you answer. What is the one thing you have been calling patience that you know, if you are completely honest with yourself, has always been something else entirely?